And if you're looking to get rich, not just have a business, some businesses will work. There are people with restaurants with the right location, the right execution. You might be able to pull it off. And you might not get rich, but you might create an income sustainable enough for you to actually maintain your life out here or wherever you at. You could even move to Bali or Thailand or anywhere and apply all of these same principles. But if you want to do a business that doesn't require you fit into the business culture, then yeah, commodities. You want to be in agricultural, farming, and mining. What's going on, y'all? All right, look, should you do business in Africa? Yes and no. My personal experience. All right, so if you've been following me, it's been a while since I've been on YouTube, so I'm back. I'm gonna give you an update on all the things that I've been doing, and I'll be showing you in some videos coming out little by little. But for now, I just want to give you like just some little insights, some behind the scenes, and just how I'm thinking, my mindset on the whole thing. So, should you do business in Africa? That really depends, I've been learning so much over the last 2 years I've been out here, 3 years. And since I've been off the YouTube, it's been 2 years. So, man, I've learned so much. And the main thing is, you gotta really know your purpose. And when I started this, I had one purpose in mind. And before I had the experience that I have now, I did not know what challenges I would face. I didn't really know what it would take for me to reach my goals out here. Expectations changed and my goals have changed a little bit. And my purpose is somewhat still the same, but the way I go about in the future, basically like living my purpose is gonna be a little different, right? So in the beginning, I was so excited about Africa. Maybe I was a little, fed into the hype a little bit, and enthusiasm is contagious. And, like I had all the best intentions. I'm nationalistic in a way. I'm Pan-African. I'm pro-Black. So I've been living in Africa since, 2010, and, I've been here 15 years. So it's like for me, I'm actually living the life, but the deal is, can I actually make the impact that I want to make or no? And that's the thing, like, so let me give you some tangibles just in case I sound like I'm all over the place. Like, it just depends on what you're trying to do. Now, if you want to come to Africa or any country really to just retire, man, you got a lot of good destinations for that. If you just want to come with a good amount of money, set up a little business just to get an income coming in, a local income, and then just live off of that income, man, you can do that here in Tanzania. You can do that in many countries in Africa. If you just want to create a decent life for yourself, you can do that. But that's not what I'm trying to do. And I realized very quickly that very few business models will work in Africa, especially in certain parts of Africa, like East Africa, particularly Tanzania is very unique in certain ways. Since I've been here, I've learned. We'll go into some of that stuff. But there's very specific business models that I would suggest that you go into or don't go into depending on your goals. And this is really the biggest thing. For you to make a decision, you need to really be clear on your purpose and your goals. If you want to retire, you'll be fine. If you have real goals, life-changing goals, world-changing goals, goals of biblical proportions like me, you got to be very particular with how you spend your time, energy, resources. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm gonna give you some insight. So basically, What I did was I started an agency. So if you don't know me, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I start a lot of businesses. I'm a biz dev guy. I've been working for the last 10, 15 years as a systems administrator. I'm now doing development, software development and consulting for different people, individuals, companies. And I'm also building software projects for myself. And with that, the issue becomes, like the skills that I have, I thought that it would be a good idea to bring to the local market here in Tanzania and then create a business around the things that I know and fill in gaps and offer solutions to problems that people have through my solutions, right? Through my services. And I got a really cool office in a very, very buzzing type of building in a really good part of town. And it was cool. Like the presentation of it looked good, and we had a lot of people coming in and out. But while we had that agency open, I learned the mindset of the locals. I really got to find out how people think here, and I really got to learn the business culture. So I started like more than one business. And if you want details on this stuff, I'm developing things for you to get into because I want to keep my personal details off of the internet, at least free for public viewing, and personal details. Maybe you'd have to get through a paywall, like a Patreon or some kind of membership or subscription or something, or just through my books, because that was one of the things that I learned about Africa is that you can't put all your information out because of the landscape of business. And this is kind of what I mean. So business is weird here because people are weird. The business culture is weird in so many ways. One, people don't really want to pay for services. People don't really want to they don't want to exchange value. People here have the worst case of scarcity mentality I've ever seen in my life. That's first. And because of that, people here are they show signs of desperation, and people here are looking to take and not give. So I found that I would have so many people come into my office, not because they were interested in the services, they were more interested in who is this, what are you doing, and what information, what kind of intel can I get? They're basically doing recon to figure out, okay, what is this new thing and how can I take something from this and do it for myself? Or people could see the value in the services that we were offering, but were not willing to pay the premium price for the premium service. And that was the whole thing. So for example, I was offering, it was a full service design agency, which includes web design, mobile app design, interior design, architectural design, landscape design, graphic design, product design. If it could be done on a computer, CAD design, manufacturing, prototyping, if it could be done on a computer, we were offering it between me, my wife, and some of my team members. Basically, if it could be done on a computer, we were offering it. And we actually got a few clients doing quite a few different services. But here was the thing. Most people wanted to negotiate the prices down. And I had the pricing structure set up in a way where I didn't have to nickel and dime them. I can give them the price up front. It never changed, and we can focus on delivering the service to meet the expectations. But the African environment is not a mature consumer environment. Neither is a mature B2B. The practices are very old school, very formalized, and they have these expectations of business out here, and it's really weird and it's really old school. And I guess I'll explain it more throughout, now that I'm back on YouTube. So what happens is I'm young, and it's like if somebody don't really, really, really need the service, they're not spending money. And then another thing is people here locate services different than the way we do. Our consumer culture is on demand, fast, right now. I'm gonna search it up, pull it up, call them right now, order right now on the phone, and I expect to be here today, tomorrow, the next day. Here is very different. The way people find anything is through middlemen, and they intentionally handicap the market and the flow, the free flowing of cash and products and services and goods, so that they can basically inject a convenience fee or a service fee in between transactions. So the entire economy is bottlenecked. And the only way you're going to get business is through a middleman. In Swahili, it's dalali, an agent, right? But I started to learn that these dalali figures are really a huge vulnerability in the business out here. And so just one example, we got a client who needed a building designed, and they basically already had the structure done, but they wanted the interior done, they wanted the electricity done, they wanted basically a construction building plan. And they need the HVAC system drawn out, and they also wanted the interior design done. So, but the problem was the guy who needed the project done himself, the actual developer, he had a project manager who located our services. Now, the project manager is not a computer guy, he's not a designer, but he was paid to deliver the service. So he outsourced the service to us, and he already negotiated a price with the developer, and then came back to us and then got me to lower our price so that he can put some money in his pocket. Then we didn't even fully have the full scope of work. So what happened is he was basically trying to get us to do step 2 and 3 when we didn't even have floor plans. So now here it is, he got us operating out of order, going against our procedures. And the whole thing is just out of order. And unfortunately, it was like it ended in a way where the dalali, the middleman, made us look like fools because he made himself look like a fool. But we didn't know that it was presentation day, right? So he was trying to control the process. We had a process, but because the middleman was in control of communication, everything got out of control because it was really him conducting the business. So when we thought we were going to just show drafts and get final approval, the middleman, the dalali, set it up as if it was delivery. So when we go in the developer's office to what we thought was to get final approval before we did the final delivery, he thought that the little things that we printed out was the actual presentation. And this was all by design from the middleman. So this was an experience that taught me, okay, even in service business, I need to have 100% control. And I don't do business with middlemen, with dalalis anymore. Another thing is the negotiating of the prices. Everybody had a problem with how much we charge for website development, graphic design, logo design, branding. They all had a problem with certain services. But the local services, whenever you go to people's websites, they're broken, they're down. When you download mobile apps, they don't work. So there's a reason why the services cost more money, because we're offering stable infrastructure, experienced developers, experienced graphic artists, people who know what they're doing, who have experience, and who's going to provide the follow-up service. If something ever happens to the site, they should be able to call you and then you fix it. But they're so focused on the price that they would rather go to somebody who's going to have a bad delivery or who's going to have bad infrastructure or not be able to actually maintain the site or the thing that they built over time, but they got it built for very little upfront. So it's the mindset that you're battling with more than anything. And for me, I'm not in business as a charity. If I wanted to do charity, I would do charity. I do charity. But I very clearly separate what's charity work, what's business, right? What's intended to profit, what's intended to make money, generate income, pay employees, compared to what's charity work, what's something I can do without the intention of profiting, right? But where I'm at in life, I don't have a lot of time to build businesses. just for someone else to have a job, but the business is not even sustainable. It's not even self-sustainable. So that was the whole thing. I started to do a cost benefit analysis, and I started to compare the opportunities here compared to the opportunities that I have being a Black American in the US. And I don't want to lose time and opportunity costs, meaning I could invest $10,000 in Africa and the return could be this much in this much time. Or I have another opportunity. I can invest $10,000 in the United States in a particular business model or endeavor and get this much return in this much time, right? So you have to calculate the cost of both opportunities. And if you choose the opportunity that gives the least result, then basically you suffer what's called an opportunity loss, right? So after doing a cost benefit analysis, these are things that you learn in business school. Basically, I said, you know what? It would be better for me to shut down my agency and focus on the things that actually have high profitability within Africa. And this is where you have all of the other nations of people, Chinese, Arabs, Indians, Europeans, you name it. Everyone's here coming after what? The resources, commodities, right? So I'm a firm believer at this point that if you're looking to really get rich in Africa, like really level up financially or do a successful business, it must be in, especially if you start as us, foreigners coming in, we don't know the language, we're not a member of the Swahili culture, the Swahili Brotherhood, because certain business models don't work for us. And if you're looking to get rich, not just have a business, some businesses will work. There are people with restaurants with the right location, the right execution. You might be able to pull it off. And you might not get rich, but you might create an income sustainable enough for you to actually maintain your life out here or wherever you at. You could even move to Bali or Thailand or anywhere and apply all of these same principles. But if you want to do a business that doesn't require you fit into the business culture, then yeah, commodities. You want to be in agricultural, farming, and mining. You need to be getting out the commodities. Different ways to do it. I'm actually writing another book on this. But the main thing you need to do is figure out how can I either buy land, rent land, or partner with someone who has land, or enable farmers who already have land, who are already farming and they just need help scaling up. You give them a buying contract, you equip them with what they need, and then they agree to sell you whatever they grow at the harvest time for basically 70% discount, and you go to the market and sell it wholesale or you process it. That's how it's done, whether that's agriculture, mining, or anything else. So that's what I believe the best business model. I can also give you some other business models from experience that I've noticed people are doing well in Africa: service-based, medical, legal, certain little niches that you can actually make good money in, but it requires usually professional services or high-level skills. And I will go into those things later on. But for now, what am I saying? That I started that agency. I closed the agency because I really started those services because I found two guys that was really good, two Tanzanian locals. They just had grit, so I wanted to give them a job, so I created an entire company just for them to work. And I've since then moved them to different places and shut down that office. We actually had, what I noticed was over time, after turning down all of those web design clients, the clients that were sticking around were the architectural design and the landscape design. So basically people that were actively building who needed conceptual and visual work done, they were actually ready to pay soon after walking into our office. They didn't blink at the price. They didn't waste our time. We got the job done. We fulfilled on the project. And you should be seeing some of the examples of the work that we were doing while we were out here. But again, at the end of it all, is it worth us the amount of work and energy and effort that it took to do these projects? No, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it for me. Now, for you, it might be worth it. I don't know your situation. Like I said, purpose and your personal goals. So for me, it was within my purpose, but the pace I want to move at it didn't fit my KPIs to reaching my goals, so I phased it out. I'm doing other things, but I feel like this video is getting long enough. So basically, should you move to Africa to do business, or should you do business in Africa? Man, that's really tough. But I tell you what, before you make that decision, I actually wrote a book on the 20 mistakes to avoid when doing business in Africa or investing. I actually give away half the book for free, or half of the content for free. Just click the link and give me your email address, and then I'll send you a PDF with half the book for free. If you like how it's set up, if you like how it's structured, if you want to hear the rest of the stories, because basically it's the 20 mistakes you can make, and then it's personal stories from myself and other people that I know who've basically had bad experiences doing business out here in Africa. All of those stories with all the details are there that, I don't want to tell on videos, but all the personal details are there. And all you have to do is just, if you like it, pay for it. I think I only have it right now for $7. So, hey, it's good talking to y'all again. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any ideas, I'm actually going to be back at the gold mine in the next couple weeks. The documentary will be dropping soon, and I have a lot to show you. So y'all stay tuned, and I will see you on the next video.